who used to cook at Silvio Berlusconi's Bunga Bunga parties. Oh,
Yeah.
higher,
Wow.
higher, baby.
Maybe some honey.
Yeah, you can put a little bit more honey.
As you said, you're not working, not only working with maids, and you have your own place. Yeah.
We have a small restaurant in the city of Vladimir, which is like 180 kilometers east of Moscow. I think you can get an Italian passport now because you've done this.
Buongiorno ragazzi. Guys, our today's lesson will be in English, and our guest today is Paul, who is now the brand chef of Maid's Pizza. Paul, nice to meet you. Nice to see you here.
Thanks guys for inviting me. I'm very happy to be here.
Tell us about yourself and your experience.
Of course. My name is Paul. I'm an Irish chef. I've worked in many places around the world, and now I'm working in Russia. I've been in Russia for almost 3 years.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's great. And
So-
have you studied in Italy, or have you worked in Italy?
I spent some time in Italy, kind of staging in different restaurants in Italy. So yeah, I have a
Cool.
little bit of experience with pizza.
Yeah, that's great.
Cool. And which recipe you bring us today?
It's a very simple pizza recipe. We have a sourdough pizza base, and the topping is going to be ricotta and gorgonzola cheese with pear.
Great.
So it's going to be very, our pizza dough is a little bit sour, the topping is a little bit salty and a little bit sweet, so altogether it's very interesting.
Yeah. So,
So-
it can be a kind of a dessert pizza.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
probably a dessert pizza for, no, I mean, some people like to eat cheese for dessert, so it's kind of, a little bit cheesy, a little bit sweety, and a little bit tasty.
That's great.
Sounds good.
So let's start. Let's look what ingredients we'll need for the pizza.
Just for the dough, we start with olive oil,
L'olio di oliva,
water,
l'acqua,
semolina,
la farina Manitoba,
00 flour,
la farina 00,
rye flour,
farina di segala,
salt,
il sale,
yeast,
il lievito,
and sourdough, zakvaska.
la fermentazione,
And for our topping for the pizza, we have some honey,
il miele,
pears,
le pere,
ricotta,
la ricotta,
and gorgonzola.
la gorgonzola.
Okay, so the first step in making our pizza dough is going to be mixing the water with yeast and fermentation.
Okay, let's start now.
Okay, so I'll just take the water.
So how much water do we need?
We need 424 grams of water.
Okay.
Perfect. Then we're going to add some yeast. We're going to add 20 grams of yeast. And then we're going to add our fermentation, zakvaska. Ложки, пожалуйста. Спасибо. So this we need 92 grams.
How to make this
This is
zakvaska?
it's a very ancient zakvaska. It's about 45 years old. So I smuggled it into Russia from Ireland.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, so that's
It's the secret ingredient.
yeah, it is. It gives a great sourness to the pizza dough. So basically, I'm just going to give these a little mix to bring them together.
And then we'll have to put it somewhere apart.
Yeah. So this type of pizza dough is cold proving. It needs to be 24 hours in the refrigerator. So we're going to mix it today, and we're going to enjoy it tomorrow.
Okay.
So next step is the olive oil, which I think is 40. And if you can use a nice extra virgin olive oil, it helps as well with the flavor of the pizza dough.
Yeah, this is the Italian olive oil, extra virgin.
Now we're going to add in our flours. So we need 570 grams.
This is the regular one.
Yeah, 00 flour.
И сито нужно нам просеять?
Нет,
Нет.
просто.
Okay.
So 570 grams. And then we'll add 64 grams of rye flour. And then we add our salt, 20 grams. And then we just mix.
And this flour?
Manitoba?
The Manitoba is for working the pizza dough.
Ah.
So that's just going to be used at the end.
Okay.
Okay. So now we'll mix all the ingredients.
Yeah. Nice and slow so it doesn't explode all over us.
And can it be mixed with the hands if
You can-
we don't have this one?
Yeah, you can mix it with your hands if you want. It's going to take a long time.
Okay.
So you probably want to be very bored to make the pizza dough by your hands.
It's the meditation.
Yeah. Set aside maybe an hour just to meditate with the flour. This is enough here for 6 pizzas.
Wow.
In Mates, we make maybe 120 pizzas per day.
120
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So it's the machine is a lot
Bigger
bigger
one.
than this as well. Yeah. So this is going to mix for about 10 to 15 minutes.
Let's have probably a short
10
break.
Dough has been mixing for about 15 minutes. We've had an amazing time here while the dough was mixing. Now we're just going to decant it to the small bowl and place it into the fridge for 24 hours to proof. This is a lot more difficult than it looks.
So I'm covering
Yeah, with cling film, plonka.
like this.
For 6 pizzas, which size?
About 25 centimeters. So each pizza dough will be 200 grams each.
Okay.
Just 1 second. Okay. Like this. Yeah.
Perfect.
It's done.
I'm going into the fridge. So our dough is ready, and now let's start the process of making pizza itself and do the toppings.
Yeah, so I'll start to work the dough in a moment. Dasha, if you could slice the pears, please.
Okay.
You just need to slice them as long and as thin as possible.
Okay. I'll do my best.
Super. And if you could please mix the ricotta with some honey, some olive oil and some salt.
Okay.
You can taste it as much as you like. There's no recipe for this. If you want to have it quite sweet, you can pour a little bit more honey.
Okay.
It's for a dessert, so maybe a little bit more honey is going to work.
Okay.
Okay. And you will form the pizza.
Yeah, I'm just going to make the pizza shape.
So actually, this is the Italian recipe, and where did you get it?
Yeah, it's a very Italian recipe. I actually got this recipe from a French prostitute while I was working in Milan. She was a friend of the chef who used to cook at Silvio Berlusconi's bunga bunga parties.
Wow.
Yeah, very interesting acquaintance. So the dough is, it's a very light dough. So this is the size basically that we're going to go for. I think it's about 25 centimeters, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, good. So you said about Italy,
Yeah.
that you have worked there.
When I worked in Italy, I lived in Milan for about 3 months, and I worked in like a small kind of Italian cafe. They did a lot of fresh pizzas and fresh pastas, so for me at that point in my life, it was very interesting. Yeah, I'm quite fond of Milan, Naples as well. I'm a big fan of, and I've been to Rome, I've been to Venice, I've been to Sicily as well. So they're kind of the only places I've been that I remember. Maybe I've been to more.
Tell us about your favorite Italian dessert.
Me, I like, well, I don't know. I think tiramisu is probably one of my favorites, but I really like it when there's lots of fucking alcohol in there. Lots and lots of booze, and a very wet, you know, sloppy type tiramisu. Quite boozy.
Where do you try the best tiramisu in your life?
Well, it's a very good question.
Difficult
Difficult question as well, yeah. I'm
But
not
you
sure.
haven't tried our tiramisu from our course, probably. It will be
Correct. I will give
Great.
that a try. I will definitely try that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Question: is it okay? Like,
Perfect.
yeah. Okay.
I've never seen pears being cut so well.
Can you try?
It looks good.
Maybe some honey?
Yeah, you can put a little bit more honey.
So, I think it will be enough for 2 pizzas.
Yeah.
What else?
That's it. We have the gorgonzola, but we're just going to crumble that on top. So we're going to put a layer of the ricotta, then we're going to put a crumble of the gorgonzola, and then we're going to place our pears nicely on the pizza.
Okay.
So it's very simple and doesn't take very long.
And about the oven?
Well, in Mates, our ovens work at 450 degrees Celsius.
Yeah. But we don't have this equipment.
We don't. So we have a household oven, and if you're going to make this pizza at home, just put your oven to maximum. Put the heat from the top and the bottom, and a fan as well, if you have a fan as well to help. It's the best way to do it for at home.
Okay.
Okay. Let's start combining all the ingredients and forming our pizza.
Sure. Okay, so I'm just going to take a spoon. And the amount of ricotta here is 200 grams. So we're going to put 100 grams on each pizza. Okay? Okay, so we're just going to spread our ricotta onto the pizza base. So we've about 100 grams here. The ricotta with the olive oil and the honey. And just kind of, you need to leave about 1 centimeter room there for the crust. Next, we're going to just take some gorgonzola, and then we just crumple it on top of the ricotta. Should do. And then we're going to take our pears. So, our pears, we're just going to line them around. So, after the pear, we just add a little bit of olive oil on top.
Finish step.
Yeah, that's just going to help with the caramelization of the pears as well. So that should do us. Now that's our first pizza ready to go into the oven. I'm just going to slide the pizza into the oven, I guess. And that's going to take about 7 or 8 minutes to cook. So the first pizza's gone into the oven. It's going to take about 6 to 8 minutes. It really depends on the oven. Every household oven is probably going to be different, so you just need to keep an eye on it and not burn it. In the meantime, we're going to play with the second pizza. We're going to try and toss it and see how high we can get it to go. Just make sure we don't. So we'll just pull it to stretch to start. I'll go first. You can go second, and Nancy, you can go third.
We will try.
Yeah, so I think I'm really not sure how to do this. So the idea is you have 2 fists underneath. You throw it and turn it.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
Ready.
Oh my god.
Cool.
Who's next?
I don't think that I will succeed. What then?
Yeah.
Put my hands here.
Yeah.
And
Like
what?
this. And then you throw it and turn at the same time. We're all here to catch it, just in case it goes wrong. Wow!
I'm a pizzaiolo. Can I try for the second?
Of course. Almost. Lovely. We've got a big hole in it now. Perfect.
Not bad, Daria.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your turn.
Oh,
Yeah.
higher, higher,
Wow.
higher, baby.
Okay,
A Klitschner.
great.
I think you can get an Italian passport now because you've done this. Okay,
Wow.
so we're good to go.
Now I will do the ricotta and you'll do the pears. Yep.
Okay.
So, and you will like end with the cheese.
I'm so good at doing blue cheese. Great.
Yep. So, then like this.
Yeah.
And leaving like 1 centimeter.
Yeah, just for the crust, I think. People enjoy eating the crust.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask you also about your like professional life. As you said, you're not working, not only working with maids, and you have your own place.
Yeah, we have a small restaurant in the city of Vladimir, which is like 180 kilometers east of Moscow. It's 90 minutes on the train, the Strichki or the Sapsan. We have a small European-style restaurant there. We have pizza on the menu. We have homemade pastas and stuff like that as well. So I'm quite heavily influenced by Italian food as well.
Great.
Yeah,
Which desserts you do have in your restaurant?
we have tiramisu.
Oh.
Yeah, it's actually very good, if I do say so myself. We have a cheesecake, like a Spanish Basque style cheesecake. We have a lemon cake, like a small lemon sponge with vanilla cream and fresh berries for the summer. And we have a strawberry pavlova as well.
Wow.
Yeah. So our menu changes every 3 months, quite seasonally. We have a good amount of guests. Hopefully this year we're going to close, make the restaurant twice as big, a little bit more luxurious, and come and visit us.
Yeah,
In the
Thank
city
definitely.
of
you.
Vladimir.
It was a great pleasure.
Okay.
Have you met maids and started working with them?
Yeah, well, the mates guys, they work with a friend of mine, an Australian guy called Sebi. Through Sebi, we all kind of got acquainted, and from the acquaintance, they came to visit Vladimir. They like the pizza, they like the pasta that we do as well. So the Mates Pizza and More is basically a pizza and pasta restaurant with some salads as well. So it's very simple, and the concept is very similar to what we do in Vladimir.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I also want to tell you the story connected with maids, because for us it's not an ordinary place. Because 1 year ago, when they opened their first coffee shop, we met there with Nastya, and we came up with an idea of organizing our masterclasses, cooking events, and that's how our collaboration started. And now, we ended up recording this course of Italian desserts, so it's a fate. Yeah.
We all have mates to thank for our future, our bright future.
Thank you.
Very inspirational coffee shop on.
Yeah, mates. Let's try our pizza.
Yeah, it's okay. So because it's for dessert, I'm just gonna drizzle a little bit more honey on top.
It looks so good and smells like heaven.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna.
Paul,
put it-
can we use some nuts
Yeah.
at the top, for
Of
example?
course, if you have macadamia nuts or pistachios, maybe it'd be quite good as well. Just throw them on, or mindal, almonds,
Yeah.
whatever nuts you like.
Okay.
It's crunchy.
It's very crunchy. If you've got some fresh thyme as well, you could sprinkle some fresh thyme on top, or some parsley maybe as well. Okay.
Let's
Let's
have a
try.
bite. So. Oops.
Приятный аппетит.
Очень вкусно.
Delicioso. Thank you very much for watching, and thank you, Paul, for coming, for
Thanks,
sharing
Paul.
this wonderful recipe with us and with the guys that are watching this video. Thank you.
I'm very happy to be here. Very cool.
Bye.
Arrivederci e a presto.
Ci vediamo.